Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Igbo Girl Living Here. If you're stopping by for the first time, I make faith, fashion, and lifestyle content. So fashion and faith targeted at women in their 30s, mid-30s, late 30s to 40s, and lifestyle. I post every Friday and every Sunday. So please hit the subscribe button, join the Fashionable Believers family. Make sure you also have your notification bell on so you don't miss an upload. Share the video and give it a huge thumbs up. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. Today I want us to address the issue of feelings and emotions. Now, in and of themselves, feelings are actually good things, and they are things that were given, or gifts rather, given to us by God that allow us to just feel every emotion, good, bad, the ups and the downs, the pains and the pleasures of life. And they also help us know how to process whatever we're feeling or our emotions. That also dictates how we make decisions, whether big or small, about our lives. But the problem comes in when we now start allowing our emotions or our feelings to dictate how we respond or react to things. Women by nature are emotional, and sometimes we allow those feelings and emotions dictate how we respond to a person or a situation. So if a situation is a bad one and we start to have negative feelings about it, it may cause us to feel a certain type of way about ourselves, about another person, or about a situation that is not actually the correct response to have towards that thing. If a situation is also positive, our emotions of happiness and excitement and joy can also push us, if we're not careful, to make hasty decisions that we shouldn't be making simply because we've allowed our emotions to push us there. Okay, so one example of someone who allowed her emotions cause her to make a hasty decision or make a statement that was supposed to be a response to a situation in the Bible was Job's wife. Now we know the story of Job and how he was an affluent, blessed man who had everything that a human could want. God's hand was upon him, and God really looked upon him as a man who had integrity and who was faithful. And we know Satan comes to God to say that the only reason why Job is a man of integrity and is a man who blesses the name of God is because God has blessed him and allowed him to have all of the stuff that he does. And so he asked God to let him take away all those things and then see how Job would react. God goes ahead and gives Satan permission. Why? I don't know. But Job starts to lose his livestock, his health, he starts to lose things one by one. And his wife, at some point when his health now was the thing that was attacked, getting boils all over, and Job would be scraping his skin off of his body. His wife's feelings towards what was now happening, Job coming from a man of affluence and being a blessed person to this person now who was living in almost poverty, and his health was just nothing to write home about. She said something to him, and I will read that. It's in Job 2, and it says verse 9. And it says, well, I'll read from verse 8. Job scraped his skin with a piece of broken pottery as he sat among the ashes. His wife said to him, "Are you still trying to maintain your integrity? Curse God and die." Now, while Job's wife was influenced by the negative thing that was happening in his life and allowed those feelings push her to make a decision, or to push her to advise her husband to make this decision to curse God, Job takes a different route. That's in verse 10, same chapter 2. And it says, "But Job replied, 'You talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad?' So in all this, Job said nothing wrong." And Job is an example of someone who, despite the fact that he once had and now didn't have, he didn't allow that to have his response be to curse God. Now, that can be painful, and you wouldn't fault him if he really just cried out to God and was angry at God and went to God in an aggressive manner or whatever. Because I think it's one thing to actually have something, know what it feels like to have wealth and fame and popularity, and to have more than enough. To go from that to having absolutely nothing, it can be really a mind trip. And definitely the feelings that will come out of that are one that, if they were to erupt in negativity, I don't think there would be too many people that will hold it against you. But as Christians, we are called to a higher standard. And that being said, I don't mean that we should subdue how we feel because we are Christians, so we shouldn't feel a certain way when something that we once had is taken away from us. The idea is to go with those emotions, those feelings, and take them to the presence of God so that you can be shown how to respond in the right way. When you allow your feelings to dictate your response to a thing, and it's the response is negative, and it leads you to speak out against God, that's where we run into trouble. Because this scripture tells us that when Satan goes before God, he's actually patrolling the earth. I'll read what it says. It says, "Satan answered the Lord, I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that's going on." So the truth is, this world we're living in, Satan is constantly roaming around. He's patrolling, he's looking to see who it is that is dominated by their feelings. It's to see who it is that, regardless of the situation, situations always dictate how they feel. So it's not always advisable to react from a place of emotion, to react from a place of however you're feeling, because you are more likely than not going to make the wrong decisions. Feelings and emotions are an unstable thing. One minute they're up, like I said, because they're excited and happy about something, and the next minute they're down in bouts of depression. So it's unwise to make major and even minor decisions about our lives and from our feelings, because they are fleeting and unreliable. So as helpers, as women who have been called to a place of assignment, it's so important that we do not allow our feelings dictate the kind of advice or dictate the way that our help looks. Because when we do that, we run the risk of leading the people within that place of assignment astray, which is what Job's wife could have done had Job not been a man of integrity and who reverenced and honored God the way that he did. So this can erode the plans of God and send us down a very different path if we give in to our feelings, if we decide that our feelings are going to dictate our reaction and our response to things. The enemy will always be ready to whisper lies to you. The minute or the second something significant happens, and that could be good or bad. If it's a bad situation, whatever it may be, he will whisper lies that you are entitled to feel this way, you are entitled to act out in this way, in a way that is contrary to how you should respond as a Christian, as a woman of God. In the same way, if a situation happens that is good, that causes you excitement and makes you happy, he'll whisper something again. You're justified to celebrate. You have every right to go out and act out, act the fool, blah, blah, blah. Also, that response is not the right response to that situation. Every situation, good, bad, and God allows us to go through certain trials to see how we would respond. And the response he's looking for is for us to come to him, stay in his presence, and allow that place, that quiet place, that place of worship, that place of reverence where we go to God, allow that place be where we express whatever we're feeling in that time. And then God will streamline us in the way that we should go ideally. So all I'm trying to say is that we cannot afford as women to allow our feelings, or the fact that we are emotional people or creatures, be the basis for our decision making regarding our lives or the people whom we have been given responsibility over. The Israelites are another example of a group of people who allowed their feelings dominate the way they responded to what God was doing in their lives. One minute they're praising God, he has delivered them from the Egyptians. The next minute they're impatient with God, grumbling, and completely abandon him to go worship idols because they feel like God is not doing what he should be doing for them the way they want it, when they want it, and how they want it. And we know that when we start listening to our feelings, more often than not, we move in disobedience, and those types of responses have consequences. The Israelite story is very well documented in the Bible. You should go read it if you haven't already. So are you someone who's dominated by your emotions? Do you allow however you're feeling in the moment dictate the decisions that you take regarding your life, whether good or bad? The idea is to always go to God, stay in the presence of God. Whether you're excited about something, whether you're depressed about something, whether something is causing you cause for concern, or whether something is making you excited, because you can move in it. When you're overly excited, you can do something prematurely. You can make a wrong move. You can make a mistake. All of those things have to come under the umbrella of Christ so that we make the right decisions. Let's not base our feelings or base our decision making on our feelings. Feelings are fleeting. They can't be relied on. They're unstable and they're unreliable. Our standard always, through everything and anything, is Christ. How would Christ react? There's nothing we're going through that Christ has not experienced while he was on earth. And so we need to look at his life and how he responded to different things, and let that be our guide when we want to respond to situations that arise in our lives, good or bad. Okay? Simply, the message today is that simple. Feelings are fleeting. Don't base your decision making, big or small, regarding your life or the lives of those who you have been given responsibility over. Don't allow those decisions to change the trajectory of your life and erode the plans of God for us. Let me know what your thoughts are with regards to this. Are you an emotional person? Do those emotions dictate how you respond and how you react? Do you go to God when you're in that crossroad of feeling a certain way and making a decision based on that? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's interact. That's the message today. Simple, straightforward, and sweet. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you stay up to date when I have new content up, and give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in a week.